Good morning, guys. So we are going to go through a patio garden tour. So this is the second one I've done this year. There hasn't been a lot to show. I'm just going to be truthful. That's why I haven't done one. The weather's been really funky. Things are really slow growing, and then a lot of things have died. And it hasn't quite worked out the way I planned. So I'm just going with the flow, and I'm going to show you what's here, what has made it, what's working, what's not working. So let's get started. Try to work with the light here. It's got a weird, it's light enough for y'all to see stuff, where the sun's not beaming down, but yet it's just a little dark where you're not getting all the colors. And so this is what it looks like on my porch. I'm backing off. And so the patio garden is on the concrete part of the outside of our house. And then we have the wooden porch or the deck, and it hasn't been sprayed yet, or I would have a lot more plants out here on this wooden deck, but we've been waiting on dry weather so that we can pressure wash and we can seal the porch, which is the plan. So as you walk in here, we have basil. So we have cinnamon basil, and we have purple basil and some green basil that got mixed in with the purple. And then this pot didn't make it. I'm going to have to repot that one. And I think I'm going to try some licorice basil this next time in that one. And then over here, this is a plant I've been growing for about, I'd say maybe this is its 4th year, possibly 5th year. And I cannot pronounce the name, so I'm going to put it across the bottom here because I will butcher it. But it is a citrus type plant, and it's great for juicing. And last year, I didn't plant any. These are all ones that I found outside that came back from the plant the year before. So I have these two, and then I have 4 that are planted on the side of the house, and we're going to get those out once these get big enough. We want to make sure we can bring them inside and bring them back outside so that we can keep that plant going if it's going to come back like that every year. Here I have, artichokes that are coming, more peppers. I have birdhouse gourd here. I have a loofah gourd here, and I have some more Mexican petunia that I have rooted in there. And so what I'm doing is keeping the bottom soaked, so it's going to get full sun, but underneath is in a tray, and that's where I have the water sitting so that it can absorb from the bottom. And tomato plants, so these are doing pretty good. I have some chicks over there. They're not happy because it got a little chilly, and so they're kind of cold, and I'm going to have to come put a lamp on them. They're okay. It's just the little ones that keep crying. The small ones, because they are cold, they're not happy. So they have food, they have water, they're just a little chilly, and they were just not happy about that. So these are all chicks that were incubated up at my mother-in-law's house. She does a really good job incubating the eggs, and so these are just ones that hatched through several different, about, I say, a week and a half, so that's about a difference in size. Alright, so back to the garden tour. Tomatoes. I bought these tomatoes, guys. So for my first set, we went ahead and bought 3 tomatoes. These are just the classic sandwich tomato that the kids will eat and I can kind of cook with. And then around them, I have companion planted and just stacked, so intercropping these Blue Lake string beans. So that's what's in the pots. And this guy, I'm guessing because he produced fruit so early on, and there's 4? Yeah, 4 really big ones down there that are doing really well. At the top of the plant, all the energy went to producing those 4 fruits. And then these 2, exact same plants, bought at the exact same time. These 2 have really just gone up, and they're full of fruit too. So just waiting on those. Y'all just gonna have to ignore my nasty porch. So I haven't gotten to pressure wash it yet. And I do that once a year, but with the rain and stuff, it's just, and it just sat here, and it just rained for a week, and it made it even worse. So now that we got some dry weather, we're going to sit here and pressure wash all this, and it'll be nice and more like that color. And, alright, so over here, I don't think, this is a corkscrew rush. I just thought he was really cool and funky, which is the only reason I got him. So anything really unusual like that I can put as an accent in a cool little pot on the porch, I like to do. This is a Mexican petunia. And it's done really well in that pot, but it's gotten to the size where it needs to go out in the yard. I know this. I've been taking rootings off of it. making more Mexican petunias. I just really love them. The hummingbirds love them, and so they kind of like between the feeder and the plant, they stay at the front door here to the point where we've had a problem with them getting in the house. This is what happens when you leave all your doors open to the outside. We always seem to have a fella that gets stuck. So she's pretty tired. We might be able to catch her this time. Last year it took like several hours to catch that poor bird. So maybe if we can just shoot her out the door, it'll be alright. Rescue about 4 now. And I say rescue, actually, if you just take a broom and you, if they're next to a window, they seem to just sit on the broom, and then I just like tow them outside. So, okay, more corals comfrey. So he got some more rootings. They came up great, so they're about to go out. More comfrey over there. This is a native pink root. And this is supposed to be the violets that are around it. I actually dug up just a whole big spot on the edge of the woods and put it in the pot so I can make sure I could get these, and I have another pot of those too. 4 o'clocks that's seeded and dropped in there. So once they bloom and I figure out what color they are, and I'm going to mark them, I'm going to try to get that out of there. Some more Mexican petunia. I don't expect it to bloom right there until much later when it gets warmer. And then my little tortoise, lucky tortoise, and then my, I just put my Christmas cactus there because I had markers you see there. I had planted this whole bed in really big carrots and lunar whites and solar yellows and purple carrots. And then, didn't realize I was going to have to mark it. I didn't mark it right away, and hubby planted his comfrey in there, and Leopold, the puppy, decided that, oh, that was the perfect size for a sleeping bed. And so when we put him out one night, he decided he was going to sleep there, and so that bed got ruined for carrots. So I'm going to retry in the fall and see what happens. The clematis is not blooming anymore, so it stopped. We have a few little sweet peas still growing over there on that. Here we have just a regular cherry tomato, and the kids came out and ate all the tomatoes off of it. So you don't get to see those. I also bought those. So if you don't have tomatoes and you start them from seed, these were bought plants. They were ahead, to jump ahead, to have something while we were waiting on the other tomato plants. And then turns out my mother-in-law has so many tomato plants, we don't even have to really plant any. I'll show you some that just came up by accident. Alright, so here is a first succession of string beans, Blue Lakes again. I really like that bean, as you can see. They are blooming, so I should have some of them very soon. There's that bloom right there. I see them come through. And let's go back to the peas. Okay, so I almost pulled this plant because it's not time for peas, like they're over, but I had a second set of blooms show up. So I'm going to keep it. If I see a plant is putting on a second set of veggie or fruits, I'm going to leave it and let it do its thing, see how it works. And so this has been left, and a couple of sweet pea plants have been left because of that second bloom. I've had peppers that do that too, and that's why I leave my peppers in a lot longer than a lot of people, because I end up getting a second set of peppers. The crest, so it's finally out. It started to flower and bolt, so it's going to be done. And then I have this purple lettuce right here, and it just didn't really grow. It was too late. It was a late planting, and it didn't just really make before the temperatures and stuff, but the arugula went crazy, and it did excellent, and I'm still getting off of the tops of that, but it's about on its way out too as well. I love to go through here in the mornings. Of course, I find like a clean piece, and I just love to like snack. I mean, that's all I do. Arugula, I don't know why. I have just fallen in love with arugula this year. I love the spice to it, and it just makes me feel so good when I eat it. And then just regular salad bowl. I know it says tricolor romaine, but that's what this was, and it was the only thing that came up. It didn't even seed, and then I went through and I just planted regular salad bowl in there. So here's a good example of why I like to use these thin little paper shreds out of the shredder. Is it's easy to weave. Look, I can easily spot them and bam, it's done. Now there's no weeds in there. So, and they'll go in my weed bucket. And then the rest of these that's chives. And then I just have ornamentals. I have the dog's been drinking out of that and pulling out my lilies. But I just have box ferns. 4 o'clock I'm experimenting with, trying to get that stick plant to work and a cactus to root. And just ornamentals that are around the house plants I had. Just things that make me happy, and I like the texture and I like the way they feel, and put them in there. Got some spearmint over there. Same thing over here. Alright, so this garden bed is a mixture of all kinds of things. So we had some turnip greens in here. They've been pulled. We have some kohlrabi that's still left. I like the leaves off of it, so even though it didn't create the root that was needed, I'm still going to eat the leaves. It's got a first accession of beans throughout here. And then some squash plants that I did not plant. They showed up on their own, so I have no clue what they are. They have finally started flowering since the temperatures have gotten right and the rain. We got so much rain, it really packed my beds down, so they got really compact. Instead of loose like they were, and they were completely filled to the top, so I could get as much soil in there as I can, and just throughout all that rain, it just packed it down. So I have no clue what kind of squash I'm going to get off of these. I don't know if that is, or that, or that. They just kind of came up on their own. And then I did a second set of beans right there. Okay, and so my porch is really dirty. I have to spray it. I have to pressure wash it. I finally got the pressure washer here. And let's see, cucumbers that will go in the ground. And then this is zucchini, a late set of zucchini that hopefully will do. Peppers from seed just to see what will happen. I'm trying some marshmallow flowers. They are supposed to be edible and the root's edible. Second set of kale here. And then I've got pumpkins. These are pumpkins. What kind of pumpkins are these? The blue pumpkins. So the pretty blue pumpkins are going to be out of that. And then trying some milkweed just to see what would happen, and also trying to get some more nasturtium out. Have sage, and I'm pretty sure more kale over there. They gotta go in the sun today. This is just it's become my potting area. It is not gonna work out to be a planter bed, so I'm going to take this and we're gonna redo it. I love the fact that it's got soil in it, because it makes it so easy to grab it and mix my soil and put it in the pots and stuff. And so I'm going to try to redesign this where I have like a pit where I can mix my soil and stuff, and then have a flat part where I can just like put all of my seedlings and stuff and repotting, and then maybe have shelves down there and stuff. So that's an idea I'm playing with. And then over here this was all sweet peas. They're still kind of there. Some of them were producing at the top, so I left them. Ooh, you can see better now. And then these are supposed to be runner string beans, like a thinner kind, but they are taking a really long time to grow. Same thing in the bottom garden. They're doing the same thing. They look the same way, and they've been there for about 2 or 3 weeks now. So they may not be, I don't know, they better perform better than this or I'm not going to plant them again. Birdhouse gourd that will go up and hopefully over the perigola. Same thing there, birdhouse gourd, hopefully go up and over the perigola. And then, let's see, right here, I am just experimenting with some cooler weather crops, and I'll let you know how that works because it gets a lot of shade right there. Alright, so another set of those string beans. As you can tell, they do really well up here. I wouldn't plant them all the time. Salad, I still have salad. So much salad that we're sick of eating salad. So, I should have gave some to my parents yesterday. But need to cut the top off of those and have a good salad day, and just, make some salad so I can plant something else right here. And then this is the third attempt on carrots, and they actually made it. So they're finally big enough. I'm playing around with something that Charles Dowring says, and it's just the carrots will weed out themselves. Okay, so I'm waiting until they get a certain size, and then I'm gonna start like thinning them out. But so far, it's been okay. It's worked. And then companion planting more beans around that. And then we have another cherry tomato, and then with this one, it started to do a second bloom on it as well. There we go. So that's why I kept it, because it's still going, it's still producing peas, so why not, along with the tomatoes there. And so they seem to be doing well together, so I've kept them. Same thing right here. I am going, these are some beans on the, well, same thing right here with the tomato, but here's some beans right here that are not working really well, and I think this soil got super compact and full of roots from the first crest set. So I'm going to go through here, and I'm actually going to pull those, replant those somewhere else, and loosen up that soil right there. And here are some more rogue squash. I have no clue what kind it is. They decided to come up on their own. And I even put hay right here to keep things from growing in the soil, and they still came up. So I'm just going to let them be. They may end up all over my porch. I don't know. We'll find out. And more lettuce. So as you can see, this salad bowl did really, really good. Of course, it's not as like tender as, let me see. Wow, that's really good. It's still good. It's not tart. So we need a lot of salad. Oh, and let's see, another squash. They're everywhere. Squash are everywhere. All right, here is a set of tomatoes from seed. And you see all these pots. These are just pots that are left over from over the years, and people give me and all that good jazz. Trying some nasturtium there, doing some rootings. I got that working really well. Here are my cowpeas. I did a set of cowpeas, and they all died through the rain and the cold, and they didn't make it. So anything I planted early didn't make it between the rain and the cold. More beans. And then we have some pepper here, and these are supposed to be small, like gypsy jeweled peppers. And I bought those because that way I can, make sure with the weather the way it was, I just bought plants and then started my seeds for just in case. And I'm glad I did, but it's just now getting warm enough for peppers to really want to do anything. Beans, and then I got some squash coming. To show you these lima beans, they are doing amazing. So they're going to cross this arch here. It was left over from the porch pieces that we did for the railing there, which eventually the whole goal in that is you could do cucumbers down it. So I want to have pots with just cucumbers and different stuff growing along the edge and just utilizing that space there. But right here on the archway, that was leftover pieces that we kind of put together, and these are going to be King of the Garden lima beans. It's my favorite. It's the one I've been using forever. So trying to get you a good view there. And they are starting to bud. So you can see them up there, right there. And they're going to start going crazy. Once they finally get to this point, that's when they just start producing. So 2 plants on each side, same thing on that side. And that's what's going on there. And they're doing pretty well right there. So, alright, well, that is the end of the porch. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, this is just what I've been able to grow for right now. The weather is just getting to the point where warm weather things are going to want to grow. So those squashes and those beans and those peas, tomatoes are finally starting to ripen up. And so right now it's just kind of a waiting game.